Bay Area Mindfulness here. My name is Florence, and in today's video, we're going to talk about online dating.
My name is Arsene. I'm originally from DC, and I've lived in San Francisco for 6 years now. I'm 32 years old. No, I would not consider myself a player. Yeah, I think I was a little bit different when I was younger. I think when I was younger, a lot of the times, what I, did was what I thought I was supposed to do. I think ultimately when I got older and started following my heart, I did. I've taken this approach. Crapshoot, fun, spontaneous.
So we've heard what you think about online dating. Tell us what you think the advantages are of the new method of dating.
I think the advantages of the new method are speed. You have more options, so you can go through them a lot faster, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Okay. Do you think that online dating caters more to men or to women?
I think it caters to men because we're a little bit more shallow, and I think online dating lets you, be very shallow, while you look at people's profiles.
What do you mean by shallow?
It's basically hot or not for the most part, and I think women are more inclined to look beyond that than we are most times.
What are your favorite dating apps in the first place?
Really just Tinder's my go-to. I haven't really used too many of the other ones. I've heard some great things about Coffee Meets Bagel and Bumble, but
why do you stick to Tinder?
I think, I've got a comfort zone there. I've got a profile I'm comfortable with. I use it when I'm bored, to be honest with you. But, there's been a few dates, so.
So would you say that you don't take it seriously?
I take it seriously sometimes. There's times when I use Tinder when I'm lonely, but for the most part, I think, like a lot of people, I'm playing the hot or not game. But then again, there's times when I am striking up conversations and, maybe getting to know somebody. So it's been interesting. I've met some really cool people, and I haven't had any bad experiences from Tinder yet. So maybe that's why I stick to it.
So tell us, when you're on Tinder and you're viewing the different profiles, what makes you swipe right?
I look for, like anybody, a pretty face, and just a couple of keywords, just an interesting profile. I don't want to see the same things like hiking or dad jokes or, just the same old stuff. Maybe just somebody who's interesting, shows some interesting taste in music or hobbies.
Are there types of photos that you like more than others?
Not really. Sometimes there'll be 2 photos, sometimes there'll be 6. I think the best profiles have, there aren't too many of her friends in the picture. I think that's kind of annoying, but outside of that, no, I don't care.
So I know, on one hand, there's sexy pictures, which obviously would catch a man's eye, but do you actually take those women seriously? Say you swipe right on them because it's just objectively attractive. Do you feel like that affects how you relate to them on the date if you actually get to that point?
So in terms of swiping on them, it depends on the mood, really. Most times, I think if the photos are a little too thirsty, I kind of stay away. But again, it depends on mood. Sometimes 10% of the time I might swipe right. But the way I would approach the date is the same. Still respectful and still,
So even if the profile is a thirsty profile, it's obviously an attractive woman, but it's hecka thirsty, you're gonna still treat her the same way on the date?
Same exact way, yeah. There's no reason to treat her differently. No, I mean, if she carries herself a different way, so be it. But no, I'm gonna, approach it the same way.
Okay, so tell us about your best Tinder date.
My best Tinder date? I went out with a beautiful young woman in Oakland, and we went out on the town. We went to a couple of bars, and we ended up going back to my house.
All right, we've heard enough. I get it. All right.
What are you gonna do?
So tell us about your worst Tinder date.
My worst Tinder date. I haven't really had any bad ones. Everyone's been really nice, but there was just one person who didn't really look like her profile.
You're catfished.
I guess you could say that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on who should pay on the first date?
First date, of course, I'll offer to pay. I won't. I won't. If a girl wants to throw her card in the ring. Oh no! You actually. Edit it out. Edit it out.
No, just say it. Who started?
I'll pay.
No, is that okay? What are your thoughts? What if the girl's like a feminist?
She's a feminist. Of course, it's her right to put her card down and split it. I'm not gonna fight somebody over it if they really want to pay. But for the most part, yeah, I would. If I could make preparations to pay for things beforehand, I would.
What about the second date, the third date, the fourth date? Like, at what point should the couple start to go Dutch, and should they ever?
Once the relationship becomes official.
Tell us the top 5 ways to turn you off on a date. Say it's a first date, like what are some 5 faux pas for us ladies?
Top 5 ways that things that turn me off, I would say. A pretentious attitude. I would hope for physical attraction. So if that's not there, that could be a turn off. Anyone who's mean, if they treat maybe the wait staff or the bartender
that's a good
mean,
one.
yeah, that could be a turn off. Anyone who doesn't really listen, if they just talk about themselves, I think, that's something I look for. Somebody who listens. Somebody who's aware, self-aware. By self-aware meaning if she knows I'm paying for it, not ordering the lobster and do say,
Yeah.
or things like that. But just being somewhat conservative, even if we're having a good time.
Would you say that guys get frustrated with online dating too?
Yeah, I think online dating is frustrating. I think some guys are out there looking for love. I think some guys are looking for connection.
Do you think that you can find love on Tinder?
Yeah, I think you can find love a variety of ways. On Tinder, at work, I think you can find love on the street, edit it out. Don't say it. Yeah.
So what would you say is the most frustrating thing about online dating for guys?
I think the most frustrating thing about online dating is wasting your time. I think some guys just don't want to waste their time, even whether it's a pretty girl or maybe somebody that they're not attracted to for any reason, personality-wise. I think people just don't waste their time.
For the ladies that are watching, if we're on a date or we're dating a guy, what are like surefire signs that they have bad intentions?
Surefire signs.
Like if all of us were like your sister and we're like telling you about this guy, and like they're exhibiting, bad signs, and you would tell your sister like, no, don't date that guy. What are those signs?
Oh yeah, any guy that's too handsy, be careful of a guy like that. If he's not being respectful of your space.
A lot of women and men get into issues with their styles of communication. Is there everyone communicates differently, obviously, but are there any behaviors that are like telltale signs that a guy is not interested in you? Like most women, they like to text a lot. So like if a guy's not texting a lot, is that just his style, or should we just assume that they're not interested?
Yeah, slow texting, at times, if it doesn't make sense, that can be a bad sign. And then also if he doesn't really let you listen, let you talk, that's a bad sign too. If you're talking, he's not paying attention, his eyes are wandering, or maybe he's been on his phone or something. That's a bad sign as well. But yeah, something to look out for if it's not a good listener.
is that like during text if he's like not responding to what you're saying, basically, like if he kind of glosses over what you're saying?
Yeah,
exactly. Really like engage with like the content.
Exactly. If he just picks and chooses what to reply to.
Exactly. What are your lasting words for us? So all of your little sisters out here that are dating, they're getting into online dating, or maybe they've been in it for a little while and they're kind of frustrated. Like what are your like parting words to us? Your go get 'em type of encouragement.
I guess just understand what you're looking for and then go after it, and don't be afraid to want something more, but have fun, really have fun and be in control, and make sure that you're safe, but always make sure that the other person is respectful. Don't put up for anything, because as Tinder will show you, there are many fish in the sea. So just make sure that you always have that in mind. Be safe, be respectful to yourself.
Well, thank you very much. This was really insightful, and I think that a lot of people will appreciate these words and the fact that we were able to hear from the male perspective.
Well, thank you guys for having me, and thank you Bay Area for having me here. Bay Area Mindfulness. Thank you, Bay Area Mindfulness, for having me here today.
Okay, bye.